converting my entire desk into cardboard. So I'm going to be taking all this stuff apart pretty soon. I want to talk to you about something. First things first, my name is Kenneth Burr. My company is Black Series Edition LLC, Crystal Edge Technology Screens, and FLEVT. Anytime I come on here and I talk about how we may be going through something at the end of the day, the naysayers come up and start rooting and carrying on saying, oh, he must be being punished. He's shenanigans and scamming is caught up with him. It's this, it's that, it's that, it's this. Let me explain something to you. And again, I can't express this enough. That, you know, the reason why I put my faith in God is because God has always had my back from day one. Even when I was denying him and I was out there in the streets carrying on and acting up, he had my back because he had a purpose for me. Even when I went through the situation where I got myself in some really bad trouble and I was looking at spending the rest of my life behind bars, he didn't allow it to be so because he had a purpose for me. Whatever happens to me, I will always land on my feet. A Christian can be kicked off the side of a building and he will always land on his feet. You know what happened today? The fellow who basically took the $160 from me, PayPal overturned it just a few minutes ago. Money's sitting in my account right now. They sent me 2 payments of $81 and $81, which equals up to $162 would be the price of the product that we purchased. Because the item that I shipped out of there was tested. It worked 100%. Because everything we make works 100%. We back our products up. That's why we have the ship back. We have people bring products back here. We test them right there on live. We don't hide anything from anybody. And I know the devil was over there probably thinking that, oh, if he sold this, that, and the other, then why would he allow you to go in and go through all that? Because God builds on faith at the end of the day. Christians have to go through Christian boot camp to make us stronger, to deal with Satan. That's why we go through what we go through. And if you see a Christian going through a hard time, it's because God has basically got a bigger blessing for him, and he wants to get him ready for that big blessing, because every time you get a bigger blessing, the devil comes with more temptation for you. So he has to get you ready. It's called Christian boot camp. Now, that fellow from England came in, and Jamie and them all jumped on board and had that fellow come over to my site, buy my product, tamper with my product, file a false claim against my product, and then turn around and he won the claim. And then here they come, oh, his product must be a scam. It must be a scam. It must be this and the other. Listen, I told you about the rope and the devil, didn't I? On how he'll let you throw that rope out there. The devil automatically knew all this was going to happen. He knew I was going to basically get the money put back in my account. He knew everything was going to happen. He led you guys along. You ran out there in the middle of the street and you got hit by a Mack truck. That's what he does. That's his job. So you got up there, got the carrying on and acting up and ranting and raving. Oh, it must be from that. And I told you in the day, our products work 100%. And God knows our product works 100% because all my products come from my Lord and Savior. And when you basically come at a Christian and you prosecute me the way you have done, the devil is off the leash for you, gentlemen. And you better pray that God is there to protect you from what you've been listening to. Let me show you something. So the claim was for $162. Now, mind you, keep in mind that we appealed on this. And PayPal swept the appeal under the rug, and we still lost the money. We lost the money and we lost the screen. And I prayed on it. And the Lord said, don't worry about it. I got you. It's taken care of already. There's the money in my account right now. Transfer from PayPal. They took it out of their own pocket and gave it to me. 81 and 81, 2 transfers went through. That equals up to $162, exactly what we lost. God protects his people, gentlemen. You can rant and carry on all you want. You can do this and do that and blah, blah, blah. It doesn't mean jack at the end of the day. You can tell people that I'm a scammer, I'm ripping people off, I'm doing this and doing that. As long as I'm doing what's right with God, and I'm following the right path that I'm supposed to follow it, God got my back 100%. When all this happened today too, all my restrictions were lifted too, every single one of them. And I didn't even put my ID in. I'm still waiting for my social to get here because I lost it, to go down to the DMV. And I call and I go, yeah, so what about these restrictions? Because I'm updating, letting them know that, look, I'm about to get my ID. I'm putting all the information in. They say, oh, you don't got no restrictions on your account. It's clean. But No, it's clean, Mr. Berg. You got no restrictions. My account's clean. It's in good standing. So it's good standing, and I got the money back. When I explain to you, people with the intention, to try to rip me off, you will not win a dime from us. You will not win in court. You will not win anywhere on the face of the planet, because my protector is God at the end of the day. That's who you got to go through. All you haters and naysayers at the end of the day, you got to go through God. But keep in mind that the devil's out there waiting for you also too. He's sitting right out there in front of your house, smiling. He's sitting in your living room. He can go anywhere the freak he wants to go at the end of the day if God is not there protecting you. And if you serve the devil, you've invited him into your home, along with his followers too. So he's sitting there whispering in your ear, telling you things to do, and he's sitting in your house at the exact same time. Now, when something evil comes creeping up on you, and you start praying to God, remember who you was praying to first before you started all this. You better pray that God hears you, because he hears me. I come and I pray and I ask him and ask for help or anything, and he makes sure that he takes care of me at the end of the day. Now, to you Christians out there, just to let you know that just because it doesn't happen overnight doesn't mean it's not going to happen. I'm timing out right now on my account right here. Just because it doesn't happen overnight doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Because God's going to make a way for you. That's what he's going to do. He's going to make a way for you. So no matter what you're going through in life, no matter how hard it may be, remember, once you get on your knees and you pray and give it to God, he already heard you. It's already taken care of. And for you naysayers out there at the end of the day, time and time again, how many times have you tried to take away from me? And how many times did you fail miserably? How many times do I come out with amazing technology, amazing blessings that we could back up on every single level? And how many times have you failed over and over again? Again, we can expose you all day long on what you are. You can't even back yourselves up at the end of the day. All you can do is just lash out at others. That's what you do. That money is back on my account. Because God knew at the end of the day that he was wrong for what he's done. And he's going to have to answer for it. Unless you can get forgiveness from God. And if you haven't got forgiveness from God, then guess who else knows you don't have forgiveness from God? Satan himself. And keep in mind, gentlemen, Satan can come in any form. It doesn't have to pop up as horns and pitchfork and tell you would wish he would look like that. You probably would wish he would look like that. If you saw him in his true form, you wouldn't be to stand before me so hideous and so ugly looking. He can come in other forms. So you better pray at the end of the day that God has your back. You better pray for forgiveness at the end of the day, because if you don't, something is coming for you, and it's far worse than what the courts or anything else could ever bring to your front door. Far worse. You don't believe in the devil, you don't believe in God, you will believe in one of them, because one of them will be coming. And if God ain't got your back, then guess who else is going to come up for you? Satan himself. I'll tell you one thing. You remember that movie called The Exorcist? You know, it's based on a true story. You know that, right? That is nothing compared to what that thing is capable of doing. Nothing. Now imagine something like that walks into your house. What would you do at the end of the day? Yeah, that's why, again, you better learn to repent. You better learn to ask for forgiveness, and you better stop doing the things that you're doing, because any given time, I told you that if God decides that he wants to take back what belongs to him, he could take it back, and there's nothing you can do about it. And if he decides that you don't wake up the next day, you don't wake up the next day. If you decide you walk outside and you get hit by a car, a bullet, anything could happen. He makes that decision at the end of the day. That's why you better pray. Every day you walk out that door, he has your back. Because he'll protect you from what Satan's trying to take from you. And for those people thinking, oh, God's going to come out. No, God is the one protecting you from what's out there that's going to come get you. That's what God's doing. So you better pray. And the more you listen to that demon at the end of the day, the farther you dig that pit. Well, I tell you something. If people even saw what Satan even looked like, and I pray you never do, I pray no one ever sees what that thing looks like, I think you wouldn't have any crime in the world if you saw what that thing looked like. I'm so happy that my Lord protects me, watches over me, and blesses us to have what we have at the end of the day. I told you that day I sat there and said to my brother-in-law, who was a Christian man. I said to him I was going to shoot him in the face when I was young and I was getting in trouble. And the very same thing I said to him almost happened to me. I almost died. I almost died a couple of times, and I'm lucky and blessed that the Lord watched over me when I was out there in them streets, when I was out there doing the things I shouldn't have been doing, that He was out there watching over me and keeping me safe. Lord protects His servants at the end of the day. And if you're out there attacking and trying to destroy His servants, well, guess what? You have called on the vengeance of God. That's what's going to happen. Because anything I put in His hands, my Lord is going to take care of. Just as in we have any problems with our business or company, anything, any business with anything with my health or anything around me, anything whatsoever that I give to God, it will be taken care of. He will have my back. God is a merciful and good God, and that's what He is. But if you mess with His people, you mess with God. That's what happens. And I thank the Lord for blessing me to have the money back in our account. Thank you, Jesus. Not allowing Satan to prevail and carry on and act up and take from us at the end of the day. You know, those who lie against my company, those who try to commit wrong against my company, God will have you out in the light. And there's nowhere to go and there's nowhere to run. And you can't escape God at the end of the day. So God is good. No restrictions on my account. And on top of that, got the money back on my account. That stores my faith with PayPal. It also stores my faith. You know, definitely my faith with the Lord is 100%, but that stores my faith with PayPal. But I'm still going to do the credit card transaction thing. I'm definitely going to do all that to begin with. But I'm glad on that. I'm happy on that. I really am. All right, people. Well, I got to go. I'm going to read some scriptures from the Bible. Thank my Lord again. And I'll thank Him all day long. Because again, you know, that was a case that was locked. It was locked. When I mean locked, I mean basically it was locked. No way around it. It was locked. Couldn't appeal it. Couldn't do anything. It was locked. Once they make that decision, it was locked. God said it is not locked. God controls everything. Got to understand that. People walk upon this earth. You think you own and you run nothing on this earth. God controls and runs everything. I'd rather have it from Him than have the other one. So when I tell you that, when I said when I write down at the bottom and I say with God with us, who can stand against us? No one can stand against us. No one. As I said before, the blessing that I received in this technology, He has designed it so there is no screen, no technology that will stand against it. No one can basically call us scammers and say we can back every single thing up that we do because we serve God at the end of the day. He is the one that charges with us when we go into battle. So for those of you out there who feel at the end of the day, whatever you're plotting, whatever you're scamming at the end of the day, God knows what you're going to do before you're going to do it. And Satan, whatever he's telling you, God knows what the devil's going to do also too. And the outcome for us, for a Christian, we will always land on our feet, no matter what. Don't test it. Don't try it. You don't want to know the outcome, what will happen to you. Trust me, I know. I used to travel down that road a long time ago when I was a sinner. You really don't want to know what's waiting for you. I tell you, that demon sits across the street. He watches you every day. He knows your name. He knows everything. He knows more about you than you know about yourself. He knows about your family. He knows about everything about you. He watches you every single day, morning, noon, and night, without crease, without pause, whispering, telling you to do things that you should not be doing, that He knows what the outcome will be. You better pray that God basically comes there to help you when that time comes. Because if not, it'll be a very painful experience. I'm so glad that the timeline that I got myself in trouble and everything, I'm glad I found God. I couldn't see myself living any other way. And I've seen His blessings over and over and over again. Can't believe that. That case was locked. That money went right back into the account. Didn't make a difference. Went right back into the account. Well, you're looking at a man who was supposed to do 40 to 80 years in prison. And I'm sitting there and talking in front of a camera. It was a locked case. Should have done the 40 to 80 years. Oh, very easily. But it wasn't God's plan. When something's not God's plan, God controls all things. That's what it comes down to. God has the last say in everything. In everything, he has the last say in everything. So if the Christians out there, if you're going through a hard time, because God's got something better for you. That's what he does. He has something better for you. And you have to go through that Christian boot camp. You have to. This makes you a stronger Christian along the way. Look what I'm battling. I'm battling 5 or 6, maybe 10, maybe 20 trolls. People hate me at the end of the day. They want to see my demise. They want to see my destruction. They want to see the world collapse around me. That's the devil himself. And every time they try, they lose. Every single time they lose. Where is their victory at? Nothing at all, period. Nothing to show for it, not a thing. Product still sells. As I showed you, they ran campaigns the entire time when I was out selling my product. When I was out making my money, they were basically campaigning. They campaigned against the 12s. They campaigned against the 7s. They campaigned against everything that I made. Probably campaigning about some of the stuff I'm making right now. But you can't stop that blessing, gentlemen. You can't stop it. And nothing you could do. You cannot stop it. And next month, April, is lawsuit month, because that's where I'm going out to start following for all my lawsuits. Yes, and guess who will be with me? My Lord and Savior will be with me. Every time I walk into that courtroom, every time I sit down and file those documents, he will be with me. Yeah, next month is lawsuit. We're going to start filing lawsuits. I'm going to hire a private investigator to track down the rest of you. So, since the FBI is still doing their case right now, because your case is open, till then, I'm going to pay the money to get an not FBI, but a private investigator to track your whereabouts and where you live at. And once I obtain that information, I'm going to file a lawsuit against you. So let me see. Since we want to hide, not a problem. I have a friend of mine. I'm hiring him. He offered to do it for free, but I'm paying him to do it. That's what he does. And he's going to track your whereabouts. I'm going to find exactly where you live at. Get all your information back to us. We can start with the police reports. Handing them over to the police report, what has to be done. Well, the Lexus UX started with refined. And we can start the following of the lawsuits. I will be taking you to civil court, so I'll be suing you for $1 million, as I stated. Yeah, $1 million lawsuit. Yes, sirree. Each one of you, $1 million. Let me see right here. Defamation, gentlemen. You use my face dozens and dozens of times, and we've been recording all that. We've been documenting everything for the last couple of days. Even when I was off YouTube, they were recording everything. So I'm suing you for defamation, $1 million each. No, the other one's going to get it far worse because he's been doing it for longer. He has a $12 million lawsuit sitting on his head and some other lawsuits coming up. But yeah, I'm going to hire a private investigator to track your whereabouts. And then by the time we get all this, we'll sue you first. And by the time we get into court for the criminal charges, it'll already be noted on court documents that we did bring you to court and we did sue you for crimes you committed. And then the rest of the stuff will follow through behind it. But I'm going to file my lawsuits now. Okay. Because you do too much. You do way too much. Now, let me see. Here we go. Now, keep in mind, Satan, these guys carrying on and acting up, because yes, you did the devil's work. You see all this right here, all these containers, all the entire time when we're pushing out all these orders. These guys are in there carrying on and ranting and saying, hey, they're scamming people, they're ripping people off, they're doing this, they're doing that, they're making bad videos about me, fake unboxings, all kinds of stuff. Did my blessings ever increase?
I mean, you're probably thinking, you sleep?
No, blessings never increased. They kept going, 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 they kept going. They never increased. So to Christians out there, when you feel like, the devil's putting pressure on you and the devil's taking from you, the devil can't take nothing from you. Can't take a thing from you.
My company is Crystal Edge.
You can go through them. There's tons of them. Dates, over and over again, shipping dates. All those orders right there. So when they were doing all those campaigns, carrying on and acting up, and they've been doing that for years. Acting up, saying my products are this, that, and the other, nothing was ever taken off my table. What damage are you doing at the end of the day? You're doing nothing. God has control over all of that. You can't take anything from me.
Basically, adjust your environment around the screen. I don't do that. My environment cannot adjust.
Angry, bitter,
work around the environment.
Upset about what we're blessed, what we have. I remember one time, I remember Jamie contacted me and said, "Oh, you must think you're God." I said, "I never said I was God. I said I'm blessed by God." Because he couldn't understand how we can make so much screen paint so fast, so quick, pass all our tests, knock out certified projection screens. He couldn't understand it. It was driving him crazy. You see all those orders right there, gentlemen? That's the entire time when Jamie was on there ranting and carrying on and acting up on his channel, trying to take blessings off my table. That's what he was trying to do. Just cutting up and carrying on, trying to take blessings off my table. God wasn't having it, was he, Jamie? All the campaigning that you did, where did it go to? Nothing at all. The more you cursed me, the more God blessed me. You didn't take anything from me. So if I'm sitting back and I'm watching in those previous demonstrations of all those orders I got sitting on my table, all them blessings coming in, after you tried repeatedly to slander my product, do fake demonstrations, call me a scammer, bombard my phone with all kinds of dumb nonsense, just act like a little child at the end of the day. If these blessings are still ending up on my table, what makes you think you could take from me now? Can't take anything from me. Nothing. Not a thing. Nothing.
With the new switch over, we just got.
What you taking from me?
Running today, so we're all good to go. The phone's going to come off. At least I don't have to pay for that phone service anymore. My phone service with AT&T is going to be free, so that's good right there.
What are you taking from me? Nothing. So you didn't realize that all of that time you doing all those hate campaigns on me, all the way down to sevens, that my table remained blessed. You did all that devil's work at the end of the day to have nothing to show for it. What did you take from me? None. Not a thing.
This one's also finished too.
This is also too.
For that one.
Out there, little message for the Christians out there, that when you see somebody hating on you or trying to take from you and they're working through the devil, they can't do anything to you at all, period. They can't take nothing from you. Not a thing.
And again, more of the Nova 19. But also, too, I'd like to thank my customers for your support. I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for always blessing us, always taking care of us.
Always blessing us, always taking care of us. You can't take anything from us. So when I tell you that my technology is going to the next level, when I tell you that we're going to be in there, we're going to have investors and their technology getting contracted, oh yeah, God's setting all that up. Everything is ready to go. And nothing you can do to stop it. Not a thing. You can preach from sun up to sundown, and the Lord will just sit there and just laugh at you and the devil all day long and say, you ain't doing nothing to my servant at the end of the day. Look at this. It just keeps going. Look at the stacks. It just keeps going. So all that campaigning, all that energy serving the devil. And where did it get you at? Nothing stopped. It just kept going and kept going. Look. It just kept going. That's how amazing God is. They can't take nothing from you. Just kept going. And it kept going. And it still keeps going. It still keeps going. Orders do push through. Orders push through. Orders push through. Money that's been removed off our account that should never have been removed account is put right back onto the account. You can't take anything from God's people. Not a thing. Nothing at all, period. Devil may whisper in your ear and tell you that you're going to take something, but you ain't taking nothing. I gave you permission to make my product twice. What happened? You failed in both attempts because you can't make my product. And that's what's going to land you these massive lawsuits that are coming up because, again, you're going to have to back up your claim about what my product is. And since you can't back up your claim what my product is supposed to be, because you lied on camera, this is going to cost you some consequences. It's going to cost you some problems. Now, I'm funny. Is the devil going to fork you over $1 million, $2 million, 12 million, 50,000, 12,000? He's not going to give you any money at the end of the day. Anybody else going to pay it? No one's going to pay that money up to you. You got to figure out how you're going to pay that money. Look at the trouble he's gotten yourself into. What was the unboxing for that one right there? Blackout cloth. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to finish the rest of my orders. I'm going to praise my Lord. I never had to bring in my ID, not one time. Nope. I went down. I'm going to get the ID anyway because I need to do ID anyway, period. But I didn't have to put it in. I'm contact them, let them know, update them that I'm going to get the ID and everything, get ready to go. And they were like, oh, no, your account's in good standing. You're good. No need to. You're good. You're good. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go in and get a credit limit cap, and I'm going to get another loan for my company. Might as well. I haven't got one in a while, and I'm eligible for them anyway. So I'm going to get me another loan. So I can actually get some cool stuff at the end of the day that I want to get for the company, some things I want to get. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Because I got an excellent credit line with them and their working capital. Yeah, and I just want to share, that's what I want to share and show you, that all that hatred that he was putting out there, that he wasn't doing a thing. That was telling him at the end of the day, oh, you're doing damage, you're doing this, you're doing that. No, you weren't doing jack at all. You weren't doing anything at all. Those are all gallons at $368 a pop. Yeah, you weren't doing anything. You weren't doing a thing. Nothing at all, period. I sit back and watch your campaigns of you slandering me over and over and over again. I'm this, that, and the other. And orders just kept coming through. In COVID, we made a lot of money in COVID. A lot of money in COVID. The Lord came and sustained my company in COVID. I made more money in COVID than I made not in COVID. I made a lot of money. And then when the orders stacked up so high, we had customers that were unbelievable understanding. Amazing customers came in. Oh, I don't mind. I can wait. I don't mind. I can wait. Nice customers. And we got you. Shipped all that product out for free. Even when we was dealing with the postal worker that wouldn't ship out the items, it got nasty. The Lord brought us somebody who came in and said, I'll take everything you got. And I'll put on a truck and I'll ship it out for you. Not a problem. Here's my number. You call me and I'll come down and take care of it. Even had a manager, a supervisor from the post office, from that branch, come down and pick up our packages. God will show you favoritism. You know that, right? Yeah, God will show you favoritism. When I walked into the Social Security building to go get my Social Security card, usually you'll be in a place like that all day long. It's like almost like the DMV. No, I sat down in that seat. I pulled my ticket. My ticket was I think it was L964, something 64. But anyway, when I came in there, I was already 2 behind one person. That was it. 2 people, and then I was next. Didn't even spend the whole day in there. I was out there by 10 o'clock. Had time to sit out in the park and just stare and just have some fun, just relax. God shows his people favoritism. He does. Christians are treated differently. We have a different life. Our life is a little different. Problems and complications that you see that most people deal with, Christians don't have to worry about that at the end of the day because God takes care of that. As long as they walk the path and the straight and narrow path, they're taken care of. If you don't walk the straight and narrow path, then you will invite something on your path that you don't want. Now, don't get this wrong. I don't want people to think at the end of the day that Christians basically can do whatever they want. No. Because you know better. It makes it far worse because you already know better what you're not supposed to do. You walk that straight and narrow path. You walk that wide and crooked, something will walk up on your path, and you do not want to deal with what's going to walk up on that path. So you have to serve God the right way. I do my job correctly in the way I do it. I don't care what people think at the end of the day, but I do my job the way it's done because I have to answer to God for everything I do. And the reason why I'm blessed with these victories over and over again is because I do what God tells me to do. So if my product is what it's supposed to be, and it's not a blessing from God, I'm telling you, I'm doing a heck of a good job. The Lord already told me that anything that he gives me, anything he blesses me, will stand the test of time, that nothing will stand against it. Your technology will be so far advanced that it'll take years before people catch up to what we can design and what we can do, what my Lord has blessed us. Everything we have here, mind you, the Imperior took 20 minutes to engineer. 20 minutes. The minute I said that, I would love to have a gunmetal technology that's darker than the rest. That fast, that ingredient's popped in my head. You know how fast it is for a formula to pop in my head? I could be sitting and have a conversation, I'll be watching some TV, I can talk to some friends, and boom, it'll just pop up in my head. And everything will be in there for me to write down how to make it. I'll just start writing stuff down, just writing it down, writing it all down. How much to put in, the measurements, everything, the whole 9 yards, everything. All that information is fed to me that quick, that fast. Whatever lands on that paper is designed to take out any certified screen. It's designed to be ultra short though compatible. It's designed to be weather. It's designed to do all the things that we designed it to do, and we're blessed to be able to do. That's why we can request a ship back. And we can do that demonstration right there on camera, live for everyone to see, and back it up 100%. We have the most test demonstrations done on our products. We have the most demonstrations inside, outside, and all different forms of calibers of projectors. We have test demonstrations done that most people wouldn't even touch with a 10-foot pole. Black versus black demonstrations. We have the most test demonstrations against our product. Even test demonstrations versus darker gunmetal. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to figure out how to find a gunmetal dark enough to match one of the screens we have in here. And now the best blessing of all, we literally have a technology that absorbs sunlight. The most powerful ambient light you can have hit your screen ever. We have that technology. We have that capability. We have that know-how. We have that knowledge to do so. All that comes from God. God, when you represent the Lord, when your products and everything you do that you put before God first, because everything we have on our website, engineered, this is powered by God's technology. Anything we put in his name, and his name is always going to be victorious. It's always going to be on top. It's always going to be better. Always. Always going to be better. Because when we represent our product, we represent our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. That's who we represent. Now, you naysayers may sit there and laugh at this and go, oh, God sees you already. He knows what you're saying before you say it. Everything you just said out of your mouth, everything you thought before you even going to think it, God already knows it already, what you're going to say and what you're going to do. But you know what else also too is back there listening to you? Satan himself. I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you it's the truth. People think that Satan looks like something I don't want to know what he looks like. I really don't. But people, you would lose your mind. You would slip off into pure madness because you couldn't handle what that thing even looks like. Mind you, at one point, Lucifer used to be God's right-hand angel, and he basically was an extremely beautiful angel. So imagine the reverse of that and being plummeted to the earth. Imagine how hideous he must look like. And this is what you serve. So if people saw what Satan really looked like, I guarantee it'd be zero crime on the earth. Because people would rather walk a straight line than bump into that thing face to face. Like I said, they know your name. They know who you are. They know everything about you. Everything about you. Now, it's something that scary and hideous walking among the earth. I am so glad to be protected by my Lord, because it can't come near me with a 10-foot pole. Couldn't even touch me. When I leave out the door and wherever I'm going at, wherever I'm traveling at, I know the devil's out there watching me. I know he is. But he also knows that my angels are out there watching me too. Ain't a darn thing he could do at the end of the day but just sit back there and bite his bottom lip, because there's nothing he could do. Now, I'm not going near that one. That one's protected by angels. I'm not going to bother with him. But if you guys walk past and he sees no angels walking behind you or in front of you, you're just an easy target. How they say it? Put on the whole armor of God. The devil, your adversary, he walks about back and forth looking who he may devour. And for those of you, Mr. Minister, who's faking to be a Christian at the end of the day and faking to be a minister, you got to come in far worse, because that's the worst thing you've done at the end of the day. You fake being a man of God and you prosecute a Christian at the same time. Yeah, the outcome for you is going to be extremely, extremely bad. All right, well, I'm thanking my Lord. Wonderful blessings. Do I wish anything evil on his people? No, I don't. They've done it to themselves. They listen to Satan. You don't have to. People do stuff like that. You don't gotta wish anything bad on. You shouldn't wish anything bad on them, and you shouldn't have any hatred for them either. They're basically dealing with the devil, and yeah, they've already signed a death warrant for themselves already. They've already brought their own destruction on their own head. I don't have to do much. All I have to do is just keep here and serve my Lord. Basically, I carry no hatred in my heart toward these people at the end of the day, no matter what dirty stuff they do to me, because I don't give Satan that satisfaction at the end of the day, and I know who they serve, so I already know the destruction that's coming your way. I lived on that side of the path already, so I know it's coming for you. You better pray that God got your back, because it can get extremely, extremely bad, and I mean really bad. I lived in some of the most violent neighborhoods in North Philadelphia. I'm really surprised I'm still being able to talk on this camera right now. The situation I got myself into. Whew, man, I'm so glad that the Lord heard my cries when I called out to him. Gentlemen, you better pray that God hears your calls too. Doesn't make a difference if you live in a nice neighborhood. Doesn't make a difference if you got bodyguards wrapped around you, 100,000. You're going to have a whole entire army encamped around you. It doesn't make a difference. When the devil comes for you, there's nothing you can do. You better pray that the Lord is there to protect you when that time comes, when he's ready to collect what belongs to him. Because when my time came and the devil was going to collect what belonged to him, because I served him when I was out in the streets, I prayed on it, and I'm happy that the Lord heard my prayers and decided to change my life to be a different person and give me a different life. So you better pray that the Lord hears you. Let me see. I'm so happy. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to go out and get myself, let me see. I've been dying for some Chick-fil-A. I'm going to get myself some Chick-fil-A today. Dying for some Chick-fil-A. God is amazing. God is good. I'm so happy, people. I'm so happy. Can't believe that. Saw that. And that reversal right there, and the Lord came in and took care of it. Yep. Remember, people, at the end of the day, for people saying, oh, well, you know, God doesn't know any evil. No, God doesn't know any evil. God doesn't even know wrong at the end of the day. He can't even lie. He can't even go against his own word. Man, if he went against his own word, we all be doomed right now. Every single one of us would be dead. Think about it. You're a super being. You have the ability to be able to control time, space, or the whole 9 yards, everything whatsoever. And you look down on a planet with a bunch of people who you made at the end of the day, and they're disrespecting you. What would you do to them? Think about that. Somebody bumps into you, you're automatically ready to take their head off. You want an apology. So imagine you created all that life down there, and they don't respect you at the end of the day. What would you think you would do? You know what? I'm done with them. Just get rid of them. And the earth is just wiped clean, and that's it. That's the end of it. No ifs, ands, or buts. Nothing you could do. All your armies, nuclear weapons, and all that stuff wouldn't mean jack at all, period. Doesn't even exist. You can just make it just disappear just like that. So imagine the kind of patience you have to be to see all that destruction on the earth and still give man a chance to be able to be saved. That's pretty powerful God right there. That's absolutely amazing. So God doesn't know evil. And people sit there and say, well, if God's so evil, why has he allowed all this stuff to happen on the earth? No, you allowed all this stuff to happen on the earth because you were given that peaceful life. It's called Adam and Eve. If you read the Bible, you realize that when the world first started, that bottom line is there was no evil, there was no destruction, there was no disease, there was no death, there was none of that. Man had immortality, had the ability, had outstanding intelligence. I mean, pretty much, we're geniuses. Everything we ever wanted, we had it. Just destroyed it all, that's all. So we plagued the earth with the destruction, disease, and death. We did it. We were given one choice. Don't touch that tree over there. That's all you got to do. Don't touch a tree, and you can have everlasting paradise. You would live like kings for the rest of your life. You would have immortality. You would never know death. You would never know. You have nothing. Perfect life. We did this. I love when people sit there and say, well, why does God accept evil? No, we destroyed it. We messed it up. One choice. Don't touch a tree. That's all. Don't touch it. What do? We go touch a tree. And then what happens? Bam! There we go. That's what we got. We got cursed. Yeah, we got cursed. That's what happened. We got cursed for it because we didn't listen. And to this day, we still have the same hard-headed mentality. We don't listen. Yep. And you got to learn the hard way. Do I listen? Yeah, I do dumb stuff. Yeah, I'm normal. I'm human. I do dumb stuff. I don't listen sometimes, and I pay for it for not listening. I hear that voice, the Lord tells me, and I know I'm not supposed to do it. Don't do that, so and so and so. This is what's going to happen to you. And I go, it should be good. Bam! There's something bad happens. So I'm like, oh man, I should have just. Well, they should have just listened on that one because that one cost me right there. Yeah, gotta listen to that when God tells you. But yeah, we brought all this destruction on earth. Can't blame God for this. We did it to ourselves. We had a perfect life. Perfect. Never wanting, never working, even if never to work again. There's no such thing as working. We need it. Everything that's provided for you. What would you be working for? You don't have to worry about going to funerals and people dying and people passing away. There's no disease, no COVID. There's nothing. It's nothing. It's just nothing but pure happiness and paradise. We messed it up. Now, God could have sat there and said, gee, Louise, you got to be kidding me. I give these people everything they want and they still mess up. Huh? Any of y'all got kids out there? You know what I'm talking about. You give your kids everything you want on the face of the planet. You try to provide for them the best you can, and they still do stuff to go, oh my goodness, are you freaking kidding me? Did what? There you go. That's the same frustration God has sometimes. But you forgive them, you bring them back in your life, and you try to work harder to do, help them out in life so that way they become better citizens to society. And that's what God tries to do. Tries to give us chances over and over and over again, and over and over and over again, and over and over and over again. I know I went through a ton of chances, tons and tons and tons of chances. I come into the house to be out to living in that sin and think to myself, I'm going to change, I'm tired of this life, and then go back out the next day and do the same dumb nonsense over and over again. I think the Lord is protecting me that entire time. He had to be. I'd have been dead by now. I literally been dead by now. So he's protecting me. So the Lord said, you know what? I'm tired of it. You got to learn. Because he ain't going to learn. He's going to kill himself. It's like we're like kids with a loaded gun. We don't know what we're doing. We'll literally kill ourselves. We need guidance because we'll self-destruct. So he says, well, I'm going to let him get into some trouble and I'm going to take his freedom from him. And then through all of that, I'll clear all this. It's like having a table cluttered with a whole lot of papers. And then you have this one important paper in the middle, but you can't find it because all this clutter is all over the table. You can't find it. And every day you add more clutter to the table, more clutter, and you still can't find this piece of paper. And what the Lord will do, he'll wipe all that off the table. The only thing that's left is that piece of paper, and then you'll see him more clearly. And then you will understand your purpose. Because you can read what's on the paper now, because you can see it. And that's what I had to go through. He had to clear everything out of my life. Put me in a situation where I had no control over anything. In order for me to depend on him to learn how to change my life to make me the person I am now. So, you'll have to go through that, gentlemen. And if you don't have the invitation for the door, that is considered to be mercy on a beautiful level. Because if you don't get that, if the Lord doesn't give that to you, if you don't go through that torment and you don't go through that process and you don't go through any of that, that means the devil already has you. And that means your life is already over from the door. Because at any given time, God can just turn his back and go, well, go ahead. And Satan will launch right after you. And you can be struck by a vehicle coming home from work and be killed. And then you'll go to that lake of fire. You'll see Jesus. But Jesus will look at you and say, hey, did you serve me while you was on the earth? Did you worship me? Anything? Did you do anything to serve me while you was there? Anything at all? Oh, you did nothing? With my time? Mine, you're on his time, not yours. You're on borrowed time. You can't come back once you die. So your time is borrowed. So did you do anything while you was on the earth with my time? What did you do? Oh, that's what you did. Well, guess what? I don't know you. And if Jesus doesn't know you, guess what does know you? Yeah, Satan sitting right over in the corner smiling at you like, come on, let's go. You're mine now. So that means that you are now passed on. Your chance of going to heaven is gone. And you're going to burn in a lake of fire forever. And the thing about it is people can't understand the concept of forever because we pass away. This is eternity forever. There is no end to it whatsoever. It's a frightening thing to think about, but it's forever. Can you imagine that? Your brain right now can't even function on that level right now. You can't function on something on forever because you're used to things having an end. There's no end to it. It's forever. That's what's so scary about it. So, hey, I'm so happy that, when I was out there carrying on and acting up in the streets, I could have been killed multiple times. Oh, imagine if I gotten killed. Many times I got in trouble and I went to hell. And well, you go to purgatory first. I went to purgatory, and Jesus denies me and says, "You never knew me." That'd have been it right there. That'd have been my life right there. I'm so happy that the Lord moved everything off my desk so I could see only Him, and I got my life together. And now when my time comes, I'm not afraid of death. I'm not afraid of death at all, because I'm going to a better place. I'm not welcome in it. Like if a plane's going down, I'm not going to try to survive. But I mean, if it's all fate and there's nothing about it and we're all going to die, I'm good, 100%. Only people that are scared that are not ready for the next life. But while you're here, God takes care of you. He does. He takes care of His Christians. He does. And to you Christians out there, you might be going through some hard times at the end of the day, whatever it may be. Remember, God always has something better for you. Always. If He's protected you this long and watched over you this long, what makes you think He's going to drop you now? There you go. There you go. He got your back 100%. Just like He got her back, He got her back 100%. So this is the reason why people sit there and say, "Whoa, you have God behind your back." So it means we're not ripping customers off. That's why we have something called ship back. You ship it back to us as we request it. It's easy. It's not hard. Send it back to me. I'll put it on a YouTube live stream. Everybody will watch it. How much more can I basically show you at the end of the day? Anybody else doing that for you? Oh, no one's else doing it for you. No, they're not doing that for you at all, period. Because you know why? Because they got stuff to hide at the end of the day. So if you fight me on a ship back, that means you have done something to it. Because what's the problem? Now, if you come back and say to me, "Hey, you're being honest. All right, I ordered something. It's not, the darkness is not to my liking. I want something a little bit more brighter, higher white levels." Fine. We made 3 different screen paints. We have the darker version, we have a gunmetal version, and then we have something called platinum silver, which actually does work on the Valva projectors. That's how well that stuff is. We used it before. We actually used it when we designed it for customized for Valva projectors anyway. We had a couple customers show off. Matter of fact, there's a customer showing off. He was using the WeMax 300 portable projector on our gunmetal technology. So yeah, we can design technology to make those projectors look better. And then you contact us and say, "Hey, we'll ship it back to you. No problem. Thank you." Because we had a customer did that. Thank you so much. Fantastic customer. They ship them back to us. And then we'll go, "Okay, everything's good in the test result. What's going on?" And if they break down and tell us the truth, okay, not a problem then. Guess what we'll do? We'll ship it out to you for free. That's it. Does it pay anything extra? No, I didn't pay anything extra. Here, ship it out to you for free. Here you go. That's it. Problem solved. Then what's the problem? Okay, then. But when we get people who basically have tampered with it to try to make me look bad on camera and try to tamper with it and then try to make false accusations against me, and if you shot a YouTube video, then you just clearly violated a batch number, which basically states that we can sue you up to $12,000 in court because you slandered my company. Because if we got the product back here and it works perfectly fine, then it has a batch number sitting on top of it. Now imagine a customer, and they didn't do this, keep in mind, let's use them as an example, who said the screen cracked and peeled, and we crumbled the screen up multiple times on a piece of cardboard over and over again to show that the product worked perfectly fine. Now what had happened if they basically faked the demonstration, did a fake crack demonstration on our products, and we went to court, and they had to perform that same exact demonstration I just did on that piece of cardboard in court? Can you imagine the outcome of that one? So something that cost you around $160 is now going to cost you $12,000, including all court costs. Instead of doing what these nice customers did in the day, instead of contacting me, good communications, and then sending me back the product, us doing the demonstration, sending it back to them, and them saying, "Okay, thank you so much for that." And they already sent us down like half a container because they used half of it already. We're sending back a full container and something else nice on the side as a way of saying thank you. There you go. That's how you do business. Not that other nonsense at the end of the day. That's how you do business. You don't have policies set up to rip off your customers to tell them, hey, that you can't even ship back anything. If you got something on your website telling people that they can't send the product back, even if they open it, how are you going to ship that back? How are you going to exchange that to the customer? How's it even going to work? You can't exchange it if you open it up. Can't get your money back if you open it up. Can't do anything if you open it, even if it lands on your property. We know who has that policy at the end of the day, but yet rant at everybody else at how they're ripping people off. You can't even do a shit back. So, yeah. I tell people, any business you're doing, anything you're doing, if it's not eBay, if it's not even paint, if you're doing something else in the day, make sure you batch number all your stuff. Because again, also too, batch number played a large role in that money being put back in our account too also. You know why? Because PayPal didn't realize we had the batch number. They saw the batch number of the product being tested, which means if we took them to court, they would have lost. And they knew they would have lost in court easily. Because now any claim that the customer made, because the customer went and said something different, and the claim that they made didn't add up to the batch number. So it means we could have taken PayPal to court and we could have sued them. Yeah. You can't get around a batch number. They're virtually impossible. That's why somebody's being sued right now for violating a batch number on a 2.0. So PayPal realized that, oh, shoot, this guy has a batch number sitting on here. Yeah, it's a batch number, which means we can show the product tested. So whatever claim you made, it shows the product was working perfectly fine. When we request a ship back and they deny the ship back, they don't want to send it back, it clearly shows that, that they tampered with the product. Because in courtroom, the judge is going to ask, why didn't you ship the product back? What was the problem? And then they're going to go through our PayPal account and they're going to look through our returns, and they're going to see how many returns we got on a 10-gallon container, which if we didn't get any returns on, only one person came through, then that's going to be a problem to try to prove. That's like saying that, hey, look, I've got this container of strawberry Kool-Aid. Everybody got strawberry on it, but you're making a complaint in court. I got grape. That's not going to go well. The laws are fixed, so I ain't going to back you up on that one. All right. Well, I'm happy. God is good. I'm going to go down to Chick-fil-A. Matter of fact, make myself a Chick-fil-A Popeye sandwich. You haven't done that before, you haven't lived. The Chick-fil-A Popeye sandwich. A Popeye sandwich stuffed with the Chick-fil-A nuggets and the, I forgot. You know, I'm going to get that. Might as well. I mean, come on. I mean, I've been working all this week. I might as well have that. Yeah. And put the sauce on it too. Taco went Chick-fil-A. You don't want Chick-fil-A. I'm going to get him a fish sandwich. That's probably what he wants. And I'm going to continue to do what I do. So, to you naysayers out there, a little message to you. You're not winning anything. You will never win anything whatsoever. You will not come. I'm not saying you can't win anything in life. You can improve yourself in life. I do believe that. But trying to win and make us look bad, it'll never happen in a million years. We will win every single time. God will make sure we have the blessings and the victory every single time because we represent him. That's who I serve at the end of the day. And nobody makes a mockery of God at the end of the day. So you understand that. So I'm going to continue to design amazing products for our customers, designed to show new levels, new heights that our technology is designed to go. And wherever the Lord blesses us for us to be at, that's where we're going to be at. And there's nothing you can do to stop it. So that's a message to you and your devil. That we don't serve that thing. With that being said, people, keep the faith. God will watch over you and protect you. He will bless you. Walk that straight line. You don't want to walk that wide and crooked because you don't want to know what's walking beside you on the wide and crooked. When you wait that straight and narrow path, can't nothing get on there. It's just you and God on that path only. But you widen that path, you'll make room for something else that'll walk up on that path right along with you. You don't want that at all, period. And keep your faith. This is, y'all come on here and tell these testimonies. And I don't want people to think, oh, he's just bragging. No, I tell these testimonies because I want people to know at the end of the day that I serve God. I announce it. I serve God. He is my Lord and Savior. And that you'll see the devil attack me. You will see it. You'll see him attack me all day long. But you'll see when I come on here, I'll show you victories that the Lord has blessed us to be able to have. And they try to take from us. They do. They try to take every single day. The devil tries to take from you. But he can't take from you. What God has already set for you to have, you will have. No matter what. He can never, ever take it from you. So no matter what anybody tries to do or say about you in life, you get down on your knees, you put it before God, and it's already taken care of. All right, people, I got to go. Thank you for your time, and God bless. I'm a happy, happy man.